The Weekly Warp Pipe.
Well, welcome campers to Friday the 13th episode. Happy Friday the 13th. This is the second one. There's actually 3 Friday the 13th this year. So super stoked on that. We're going to be diving in, talking about the video games, the movies, the memorabilia, and the love for Jason Voorhees on this episode of The Weekly Warp Pipe. Where's my other counselors?
Oh, I missed opportunity. I should have worn my Camp Briarbrook.
Yeah. See, you could have leaned into the camp theme.
I could have, man.
I'm excited to learn all about Friday the 13th.
That's right.
Keith is not a horror guy, if you guys didn't know.
0%. I think we decided that he would get me if I had to face him, right? So
we did do that.
Yeah.
That was a few episodes back. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, go back, watch the old episodes, and then catch up and get to here. Learn all about David's beard.
My beard. I mean, we're going on like a little over a year and a half, maybe. Yeah, a little bit of a year and a half. I do a little bit trimming every now and then. Mm-hmm. What you guys been up to? It's getting grayer. It's definitely getting grayer.
Russ is just being ominous over there.
That's not Russ. That's Jason Voorhees.
I can't go the whole episode like this.
Us via
I think you could take it off. I think you're good. I think it's
Russ
run its course.
Is in his Jason mask.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, he's back.
There we go. Now I can hear.
All right. So
I will say, though, this is a custom mask that I made on my Russ Lyman channel this past October. I redid my NES Jason cosplay. And so I redid the mask and the full costume. And I went with like a cell shaded look. So you can kind of see like almost like Borderlands with like different shades of turquoise and then the black thick outlines. And that video did really well. And I did just the mask video as well. And I'm hoping, we'll see if I can edit, since we're recording here Wednesday, but you guys are hearing Saturday, there should be a new video on the Russ Lyman channel here with a NES Advantage controller theme to Friday the 13th NES style there. So hopefully that will be up on the channel. Should be there by Saturday for you to check out. So if you guys aren't subscribed to my DIY channel, Russ Lyman, just head over there and do that.
It's all making sense to me now because the person that you made it for actually reached out to me and was like, hey, if with something with the customs, and then he kind of like vaguely mentioned it. And I was like, is it an NES Advantage? Because I remember you telling me that you were working on an NES Advantage.
Yeah.
So I put 2 and 2 together. So I'm excited to see that. That's cool. And look, Russ got the pillow there back there too.
Right. Yeah. This is a cool pillow that actually you can flip it and it has regular Jason on that side or NES Jason on that side. The company's Pillow Pops.
Is that the one that you got in New York when we went to like the Street Fest?
So we went to that Street Fest in New York, and the guy that puts that on made this company, and he actually reached out to me because he saw my Jason cosplay, and he was like, hey, if I send you a pillow, can you do a couple promos for me? So I made a couple promos, and we just traded off. But he has also one I bought was it's a CRT TV pillow with the Ninja Turtles NES game of the dam level of them swimming.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I have that pillow too, but they have a whole bunch of other horror themed pillows.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, what you been up to this week? Tell us about your stream.
Yeah, I streamed for 10 hours for Mario Day. March 10th was National Mario Day, and I kind of found out last minute, so I put together a little stream, have some people over, and we did like some challenges during the stream. This way it just wasn't, oh, let's play this game, let's play this game. So we did a no coin run of Super Mario Brothers 1. Can't get any coin. If you get a coin, got to start all the way over. So I got all the way up to 5-4, I think was the record. So that was pretty interesting. And then we played Mario Kart Don't Drink and Drive. So we had our beverages and we had a race. and you had to finish your beverage, but you can't drive at the same time. So you got to put your controller down, drink your drink, put it down, grab your controller, and then we were having chat tell us the drink and stuff. So that was fun.
Nice.
But we started at 3 o'clock and went till 1 a.m. Wow. So it certainly was a long time. And I'm still kind of recovering with, I had lost my voice a couple days ago, and I was like, great, I got to stream for 9 hours and talk, and then I got to do the podcast for 2 hours. It's like my voice certainly having trouble recovering.
Nice. Well, you're good now, right?
Somewhat. I'm almost there. I'm still a little raspy and a little lower than I normally sound, but that's all right. I'm drinking a lot of tea. I got tea and plenty of water on hand.
Nice. Healing up.
What about you, Keith? What's going on with you?
Not a lot, to be honest with you. I did get something in the mail that I did mention to you guys, but I don't know if you guys have got yours yet. But if you go back a few episodes, we had Tiger Chainsaw on, and I got my copy of Maiden of the Dark in the mail. So this is Kickstarter they did. Talked about it on the channel, but this here came with a nice little manual, which is actually pretty well done. I like that it's kind of solid. And then the actual game. It just says game. I don't know if you guys can see the top here. It just says, let me try to get that work. It says game at the top. It doesn't say Game Boy.
Yeah.
Game.
Oh, and yeah, instead of Game Boy. Yeah.
But played a little bit of that, checked it out, but excited to have that. That's pretty much the most exciting thing that happened to me this week.
What kind of game is it?
It's like a platformer, kind of Castlevania feel to it. I only played the first level a little bit, but I have Friday off, so I plan on sitting down and trying to play all the way through it. So kind of excited to do that.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, mine came in the mail. I haven't opened the box yet, though.
Nice. Save it. Keep it CID.
That's it.
That's it. Are you guys going to play it on like the Super Game Boy or actual handheld?
I don't have a Super Game Boy, so yeah, actual handheld.
Oh,
nice. I have to pick up a Super Game Boy. Oh, well, I guess I could plug it into my Game Boy player on the GameCube.
Oh, that's
true. Work on that.
That's true. And I think, Keith, you did message us that, was it like import fees or something?
Yeah. I got dinged with customs fees. It was like $40 in custom fees. It was like, oh my, this was
almost half of what the item is.
Pledge. Yeah.
Like, how is that figured? Like, what? How do they figure out fees for that? I don't even understand it.
Someone at the border is like, they're probably like, look at this nerd. Here, we'll ding him for getting a video game shipped across. Like, yeah, we'll get that nerd. Ding me. Nice. So. But it was good. They called me and they said, yeah, you got fees. It's kind of snowy here. So they met me in the driveway and I paid my fees at the end of my driveway.
Is that how it works? Like they deliver it and you pay them?
They delivered it right to me. I'd never had that happen before. The guy called me. The delivery guy called me. He's like, yeah, I'm about 12 minutes from your house. He said,
really?
You're there? I was like, oh, I can be there. So I showed up and swiped my card for $42 and then took my Game Boy Game into the house.
And is that always how it happens, or like sometimes do you pay ahead of time?
Seems to be random, I think. Okay. Like sometimes I don't have any custom fees. I've bought games from Pixel Game Squad on their whatnot, not a single customs fee. I bought games from Chase, custom fees. Same platform, whatnot.
Right.
Custom fees on one. No custom fees on the other, so I don't know.
Okay.
Seems to be luck of the guy you got that day.
Right.
But who knows right now with tariffs and all that stuff, it could be anything.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing that happened to me was I got to pay shipping fee for the game that we supported a friend on. So, David, what about you? What did you do this week?
Well, we haven't talked in a couple of weeks because we had Tom on last week. So last week I got back from Ohio. Indiana. Yeah. Well, we went through Ohio and then we were in Indiana. Went to Hoosier Collecticon. That is Tim Talks Toys and Froggy Flips toy show. And that was It was an adventure. It was pretty wild. It was, I would say, the highlight of the entire show. It was a fun show getting to meet like some of the people that I've been talking to over Instagram, like some of the sellers and stuff like that. Surprisingly enough, there were besides myself and No Cable Crew and my friends Tats Tunes and Toys, there was like nobody there really filming otherwise, which was weird because the last one there was at least 5 or 6, maybe even more than that, that all put videos out across YouTube and they all collaborated and did all this stuff. So it was just really interesting, like the fact that there wasn't really as much creators there. But like I was saying, the highlight of the whole day was probably people that approached me and watched the channel. I heard a couple of people come up to me and they were like, "Oh, I heard your voice. I knew that voice." And so it's, it's still very new and it's still very weird, but it was very cool. And I actually brought. Do you guys know about those little mini Mad Balls that just got? Actually, do I have one here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I have one here. Actually, look at funny story. Look at which one I have right here.
Nice. It's the like Jason looking one.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger?
I basically yeah. So I brought a full backpack full of these guys, and anybody that approached me and said that they watched the channel or watched the videos, I let them go into the bag and pick out a Mad Ball for themselves, just as a small thank you for supporting me and watching the channel. So that was a fun trip. But we have Chicago coming up next. That's the next big one. But also this past week, we also did the Tournament of Toys on my channel, as well as No Cable Crew. Sprooch was involved. Next week, we will have Killer Carp available, that he's going to be on the stream as well. And
Nice.
we came up with that idea when we went to Retrofest. We were at the Airbnb and we were like, hey, let's do a March Madness of toys and do some voting on it on Instagram and let everybody pick their winners. And then everything good? I just got some weird. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, okay, got it. So anyway, we did that and we did the live stream on Sunday. It went very, very well, and we're going to do the next one this coming Sunday, which would be tomorrow if you're watching, listening to this on Saturday when it comes out. And then we're going to do it for the next few Saturdays until we come up with the final four and the championship match. The closest match of the week was we put My Pet Monster up against Barnyard Commandos.
And that was a close match, huh?
The winner was decided by one vote. It was pretty wild. So it was, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but Alex had told us that one vote won it. Like it was, like if there was 100 votes, it was, 51 to 49 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
But anyway, My Pet Monster did win by the skin of their teeth. So we'll see what happens next week, because I think My Pet Monster might be going up against Mad Balls next week.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes. I don't think My Pet Monster has a chance come next week though. But whatever. That was my week. And then a lot of editing today, and new video will be out Saturday. So
Nice.
that's it. That's all I got.
I was going to say, I put out a new video on the Rustly channel with Tom Ryan. If you watched last week's episode, Tom Ryan was on the podcast. And then I put out a episode where me and Tom look at box art, video game box art, and we get his artist opinion on it. So if you haven't checked that out, that is on the Rustly YouTube channel. So you can go over to there and check it out. It's like a 20-minute video. We do 11 box arts from NES, Sega, PlayStation 3, and Super Nintendo. And we actually recorded 40 minutes worth of content. So I do have a part 2 version of that I got to put together. So I'll wait a little bit in between on that.
I wonder if those would be good for shorts.
Yeah,
Like
you could
like
each one.
Yeah. I don't know
2
how
to 3
long
minutes.
they are. I wasn't timing them when I watched it.
Probably like 5 minutes on some of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
But
they might work as standalones as well.
I had a funny. If Keith was talking about shipping stuff, I had a package which I might make a short out of. My buddy Aldo suggested, he's like, "Oh, that would be a good like TikTok or something." So I ordered from 8-Bit Dough. I wanted to get a Sega Genesis wireless controller, so when I stream Sega games like through my SNES Classic, because it's modded, I can have the same feeling I'm holding a Sega controller. So I ordered. They have a little dongle that plugs into the SNES Classic. It's that weird like Wii connection. So I ordered that, a Sega controller, and then they sell kits that it's a PCB board that you put in an original Sega controller, and then it makes that wireless, right?
Okay.
And so I put all that together, and for whatever reason, they shipped the dongle first, the little adapter. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Why wouldn't they send it all together? Isn't it coming from the same place? So I was waiting. I was like, oh, the other parts will show up. Waiting. It was like a week goes by, like another week goes by. I'm like, where's that package? And then I looked up the tracking number, and I'm like, it says it was delivered, and it was like left by door or garage or something. And I'm like looking outside, and I was like, I can't find it. And I had gotten an email about, hey, do you like the item? And I'm like, I don't know, it never showed up.
Yeah.
And me and Steph were chatting, and she's like, I don't know, like maybe it just got like misplaced, like there was snowfall and this and that. And I was like, I don't know. I like looked under stuff, and we were out there shoveling. Well, like David said, it's been 70 the past few days. Yeah. And here's a video here. Gwen was yapping. At the front of my driveway, there's a plastic bag with a box, and that was covered in snow for 2 weeks, I think.
Wow.
I was like, they didn't put it there. They didn't put it by my mailbox. They just tossed it in the road, and we had our plow guy come through, plow all there. So it was just buried under there for weeks. And now that it melted, I was like, there it is.
Man.
And I was like, thank God he put it in a plastic bag. So it was like plastic bag and in the box.
Seriously.
And so I opened it up today, and the stuff was fine because it was all wrapped in there. So I was like,
wow.
What a story. I was like, wow, okay, good. It showed up. I was ready to order it again. I was like, you know what? I'll wait till it does get warm, because maybe it did get like knocked somewhere.
Right.
And there it is.
Can you imagine if it was like one of 100 other things that a person might have ordered that was like something you needed or something that maybe cost a pretty penny?
Yeah.
And you're like, where the heck is that? And you find it in a snowbank.
Because I thought, because our mailbox is on like whatever the main road. I was like, if they left it there, I was like, someone could have easily stopped, thrown it in their car, and kept driving. So he probably just tossed it in a little bit, and then that night we had the snowfall and it covered it, and then we got another storm, and so it was just lost.
Yeah.
So do you think? So did the plow push it?
No, but I think it was probably in the grass, and when they plowed, then it just got a bigger mound on top of it and just was sitting there until it melted.
Wow.
I would have found it. It's springtime here. I wouldn't have found it a week later, right?
So funny.
Crazy.
Jeez.
So there's some fun stories.
Yeah. You said you're doing a short on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna film like me opening it, and I'll do a little backstory. So I think it'd be fun. Yeah, and Gwen's in there because she was like, "What's the garbage?" And I was like, "Garbage." And then I saw the plastic bag, like, because it looked like trash, and I was like,
"Wow,
oh my god."
That's funny.
That's sweet.
Sweet.
All right, we'll wrap this up, and we'll get a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll get into it.
We'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Manny's Arcade. More on them later in the episode.
Ooh, look, guys, it's me, and we are rolling into Warp Pipe Rental. Each week we rent a game or a movie, tell what we think about it, give it a rating, and go from there. This time it's going to be one that I'm a little scared of. Russ, go ahead.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card, because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
All right, where are we? I'm on Keith. Go to me. There I am. What's up? So we did decide, since Friday the 13th just happened, to play the Friday the 13th game on NES. This classic game that, we didn't have much horror games back in the day, and I feel like with this box art and the popularity of the movies, seeing this as a young kid, you probably like, oh man, I want to get it. Or even, maybe your dad's with you at the rental store and he's seen the movies and you're like, oh cool, Jason, yeah, I dig it. Destroy Jason if you can. It's a little weird because he's a serial killer, right? It's a horror movie and you have Jason and there's like this psychedelic color in the background there. Side note, also, I want to just jump in and say this. It's freaking pouring out right now. I can hear in thunder.
Is that the sound that I hear? Like
So,
in your background?
I
thought you had like an air conditioner on or something.
If we lose
White
connection,
noise thing.
I could hear it.
Wow.
it's coming down. So if we end up losing connection, that's what happened.
Sure,
You
it's a
guys
good thing
don't
you
hear
got
an
your
echo
package.
on my
I know. It would have washed away.
yeah.
Right?
You guys don't hear an echo on my voice either, right? No? Okay,
No,
good.
just
on my
Russ's
end.
rain.
Great.
That's it,
We
so-
all have little technical issues right now.
Well, I feel like it fits the vibe with the rain.
That's right. It's
Yeah,
good.
right.
So I love the white noise. I'm about to fall asleep.
So what do we think of this game here? Friday 13th, LJN put it out. The
I like-
NES game here.
I like the box art.
It stands out. Like it
Yeah.
again, it has that 80s vibe to it with the bright colors and Jason just coming out. And that's a screenshot from one of the movies. I don't know which one. I can't think of offhand, but
Well, it's not the first one.
right, obviously.
Spoiler alert. Jason's not in the first movie, guys.
At least Jason with the
No.
hockey mask.
Right.
Now, this was published by LJN, but it was developed by Atlas.
Right.
Right? LJN didn't make a lot of these games. They just published them. So that's why this one might be a little bit better than some of the other ones we saw that came from
Is
LJN.
it though? Is it though? Is it better? Well, then
Than
again,
some of the other ones
LJN
we
doesn't
saw
re-
from LJN?
Well, I was gonna say LJN doesn't have. It doesn't take much to do better than LJN. So that's fair. I want to know. I have a question about this game, and since we picked this for the Warp Pipe rental, this is the question that I probably should have asked Russ a very, very, very long time ago. Russ, what is your obsession with this game? I really want to know.
Where is he? Fucking.
What is? Oh, I got the over. I got the over.
It was
Me and
coming.
Keith made a bet. We made a gentleman's bet. Who had the over under that Russ was going to show his tattoo tonight?
I have to. I got the NES Jason tattoo on me.
Well,
I got a lot of
over-under
purple
was-
going on.
The over under was 98%, so I took the over. So that was good. What is the obsession of this game? I really, really need to know. Like, what is the story?
Of why I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I'm not sure. It kind of snowballed. I feel like it wasn't just like boom, I'm obsessed with this game. I think just watching the movies with my dad growing up, and I honestly can't even remember if I played this game when I was younger. I might have found it later, maybe when I got back into retro games. We could have rented it. I'm not sure, but I don't have any vivid memories of playing it. But just I don't know.
Is that thunder?
Yeah, it's getting spooky.
Wow.
So I'm waiting for the. We have lost power here, so I'm waiting for the lights go.
Oh,
This could be
man.
interesting. And then just this match just floats in.
Yeah. There you go.
I think just the aesthetic and the appeal of like the purple Jason just being weird, like wow, where did that come from? And like he just stands out in like 80s and like just looks so cool. And it just started snowballing a bunch. And I do feel like when I had my YouTube channel, Russ Lyman, and I was doing DIY stuff. And on a whim, I was like, yo, let me do NES Jason. I feel like a lot of people haven't, I'm into retro games, and plenty of people dressed up like Jason before, but I've never seen at these shows an NES Jason in purple. And I made this DIY on like a whim, and I'll look it up now, but it's got like a ton of views. People checked it out, and I had people come up to me in conventions, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I used this tutorial," and I'm like, "That's me." It's like I wrote that. Let's see, cosplay Russ Lyman.
Yeah, I feel like you were the originator of the cosplay.
It's got 390,000 views. I posted it 7 years ago.
Wow.
390,000. And my new one, I just posted this October, 5 months ago. It's at 30,000 views.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a popular topic there for you.
Right. So I kind of leaned into that. Side note, there's another video where I did NES Freddy because I felt like that needed, you need your companion on that. That one didn't hit as much. That one has only 5,400 views compared to 390,000 with Jason.
I'm thinking the colors. The color scheme is just bright and vivid and
Stands out.
saturated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, with Freddy, it's bright orange and more orange, essentially. So he's got a bright. But maybe it's a throwback to the Charlotte Hornets, right? People loved the Charlotte Hornets in the 90s, and maybe that color scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So
that color scheme was the jam.
Yeah.
right. But yeah, I mean, I just kept snowballing, and there started to be more and more memorabilia and like love for the character being in the purple. So I just latched onto that. We could talk a little bit later on with the later game 2017 and how they spent homage to that. But to dial it back to Friday the 13th on NES, where we got right here, boom, and Dave was saying you kind of had your doubts with this one, and I know obviously AVGN did a video on it and crapped all over it, and plenty of people were like, terrible game, right. And I think from what we had before this, right, there was Halloween and a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game on the Atari 2600.
Right.
Super blocky. You're like, what is this nonsense? You're like, okay, not scary, obviously. But then you get to the NES here, and I think for what they had of limitations, they really did a great job of the setting. They gave you like, you go into the cabins, you go into the caves, you get to go into the woods, you go rowboating, like pretty exploratory, like on all of Camp Crystal Lake. And day-night cycle, like it gets dark out, and I think the music that they use really puts an airy like vibe to it. Even when you're in the cabin and looking for Jason, you're like, where's he gonna pop out of that corner? It's a little silly, when you're fighting him, where it's kind of like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and that. But I think what they were going with kind of fit well, and a lot of people again were confused on how the game plays. If I jump over to this gameplay here, you guys can watch, because I'll rewind it a little bit. It does say when you start the game, it lets you know to like light all the use the torch, right? Use the torch to light the fireplaces, which is bad advice already, because that's got you running all over the map, and like you're losing your counselors, and it's not even worth it. There's a way to get the torch, which is a very, very strong weapon in the game, and it takes like 3 minutes to get it if you know what you're doing. But obviously that wasn't explained in the manual or in the game here, so I could see where people were just like, I don't know how to play this game or beat Jason, because you do have to beat him 3 nights in a row to beat the game, and he's easiest obviously on the first night, but second night he starts to speed up, so when you get him in the cabin, it's very hard to dodge him because he's so quick. You want to fight him on the trails, just because you could get more hits in and able to dodge him, like when you're on these parts here.
I think that's my thing, man. I think it was just a wild goose chase, and nothing was really explained of like where to go. There's no hand holding in this game.
Right.
You have to just kind of figure it out. I would say that this was more confusing than just getting dropped into Legend of Zelda. Like it just, I don't know where to go. Like I don't know what to do. And
Right,
then when
me
you
too.
go into the cabins, there's no map to these. Like as you can see, like you're just going into these random rooms. It
Yeah.
always just confused me of like like it almost felt like one of those click and point exploration games.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
like
have,
Shadowgate or something.
yeah, and it's just is there a map system for this? Like you don't know where you're going in these cabins, and so then
Yeah, they're
trying to
all
find a
kind
way
of-
out, and it was just very convoluted, like just very confusing to me.
Yeah.
I need
Always
my
good.
hand held through these games, guys. I
always
you
get
know like
lost.
in comparison to now the Nightmare on Elm Street game. I mean, I know listen, I'm gonna make some comparisons throughout the night, but like Nightmare on Elm Street, that game, way more fun for me than this one.
Yeah.
And 4 players.
And
Right.
4
That's
players.
for whatever reason at the same time.
Yeah.
Super.
And that one is more platforming. Where this, like, what would
Right.
you call this one? Just exploration? Like, what would you
Yeah,
call
has
this?
that, like I guess
Yeah.
a venture game.
Yeah.
What does it say on the? Does it say on the cover here? A power play series, part of the power play, whatever that means.
I don't know. It's interactive
Right.
for sure.
It's for sure something.
Yeah.
There is you see at the very top of your recommended on that side there, Russ, it says 0 to 14th. He actually does
Yeah.
some pretty cool videos about
Okay.
this game. It's a channel I do subscribe to.
Here, I'll add to the watch
Actually-
later.
He's actually live right now looking over here. But yeah,
Wow, it's crazy.
that's if you're interested in Friday the 13th, definitely check out his channel because he's pretty good at this one for sure.
Russ,
I
have
know-
you gotten through this game? Like,
Yeah, I have beaten it, but I did have to on the third night just because Jason's so tough. We did use like a save state in a cabin, so then I can just attack him on the trail and beat him there. So I haven't done it just straight up playing. So eventually I'd like to. I have a few books. I was actually in a book that's a guide. It's called Friday the 13th, The Easy Way. And it's a full guide and breaks down where everything is, how to play the game, where to find all the items. And then again, there's plenty of videos out there too. My buddy Tyler from Generation Gap Gaming did a really good video on Friday the 13th, how to play the game. And there is a YouTube channel that's just called How to Beat Video Games. And they're usually like hour and a half long videos that really hold your hand and show you how to play it.
how did we get through this game as kids, though? Like, I think, like, as a rental, right? Exactly.
I
As
mean,
a
I
rental?
think if someone had beaten him on the first night, they probably were just like, "Oh, like I beat the game. Like I'm not going through the other 2 nights."
Because who
Right.
would have thought, right? Like back in the day, you'd be a little lost.
Right. So this is where you want to fight Jason because you can hit him, and if you run towards the right fast enough, you could actually catch him again, and then you'll fight him again. So then this way you can really get some health down rather than having to wait and then go track him down in a cabin, and then you could only get like 4 hits off of him on the cabin. When you're on the trail, you can just really wail into him.
Yeah. So, like, when they show the map where you're kind of like going through the map there,
Yeah.
it was just, I mean, Keith, I don't know. Like, Keith, you've played this game.
I have, yeah, and I just played it.
I don't
And I
even
was
understand
lost.
it. I really
can't-
don't understand it. And I know that there's a
feel like-
learning curve, but honestly, like in the 80s, in the 90s, when we were growing up and having these games and not having the internet, just having Nintendo Power, unless you had that issue, like, how was I going to get through this game? I don't know if I would have even had the patience back then, even though we knew back then going into games that we have to kind of figure them out for ourselves. So I don't know. For me, it's not one that I am going to go back to, by choice.
Yeah,
That's just me.
yeah, it's difficult for me to follow what I'm supposed to be doing, and then I don't feel like I'm quick enough with my reaction time when I do end up facing Jason, and I'm like, oh well, that was fun. I've just lost 2 counselors, and I don't know what to do next.
Right. It's
There's
like
there's
using,
only two good counselors to use though.
Right? Yeah.
The other ones are terrible.
I would have never known. What is it about the other counselors that make them better?
They're faster, like they move faster and jump higher. There are attributes to some of the others where one will row faster when you're in the water, but like how often are you doing that? So you're just better.
Yeah.
I think it's Mark and Chrissy are the two that you want. So if you end up
I think that's what I heard. Yeah.
one of them gets killed, then you're like, start over. Not even worth it.
Interesting.
Which is ridiculous. Right? I can't even keep playing the game because I lost one of the good ones and the other ones suck.
I'm just curious about something else too, Russ. Maybe you can answer this. Is there any kind of like correlation of NES Jason and NES Batman because they kind of use that similar style of palette?
The only thing I know, I mean, we could get into that more with the main topic of tonight, but I think they just drew inspiration from a poster. I can get my book so we could show the poster so I can find it.
Cool.
But Jason was purple in that poster that was in Japan. And so, so when they were making this game, they're like, okay. I mean, other than it helps them stand off of the background, maybe better. That definitely worked for Batman because it was a very dark atmosphere, and they had to make a purple there. But with this here, I mean, there are, you know, in the woods is dark and nighttime here. But I was like, during the day, it's pretty bright. You would be able to see him in his green outfit, I guess. But
it's just not a game that I'm going to go back to. I'm being honest.
It's one that I don't mind throwing in the system. It's not the worst game out there, but yeah, I think it's one I want to be able to play and understand, but I just have such a hard time with it.
yeah,
Not something I would shy away from if I was like, let's try it, but it's not top of my list for sure.
Mm-hmm.
what would we rate it?
I mean, I would give it the benefit of the doubt because I have watched gameplay on it, and I know that it is not as terrible of a game as I make it out to be. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I'll be generous.
All
I mean,
right.
the music is pretty good.
I'm thinking
The box art's cool.
the
The color
numbers on
scheme
there.
is good.
It's not a 13, but it's definitely a 3 for me as well.
Okay. You weren't
dig
going to
it.
go for the 1?
No.
Nice.
It's definitely better than a 1. There is some 1s out there that did come from LJN, but this
WrestleMania?
one isn't one of them. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future 2 and 3.
2, 3.
What about you, Russ?
I'll probably go 4. I'll probably go 4 with this. Definitely holds a place in my heart for sure.
But now that's one that you've learned to love. Like you,
Right. You
over
appreciate,
time.
over time on that.
Right. And
I think that's
and
what I would
Russ is
want,
right.
is to learn to love it, right?
Russ has put a lot of time into NES Jason in general.
That's right. He's my boy.
So,
What you
perfect.
should do is you should make 2 more of them their costumes years, and we'll all wear them at SoCal.
At SoCal?
And we'll like
What-
chase someone down and keep appearing closer. Like, he's right here. How did he get over here?
Well, I'm the short one.
They'll be too afraid to realize that.
Yeah. Keith, what are we getting into next week?
I feel like this one should be David telling us this one because his entire background is My Pet Monster. We're doing My Pet Monster, the movie, which until I met Mr. David Apuzzo, I did not know that there was a movie. I thought it was just a cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know that it was a toy line?
I did. I expected there to be toys based off the cartoon because that was typical for the 80s
Okay.
and the 90s, but I did not know there was a live action adventure.
Oh, it's an adventure. I'm just gonna say that it's an adventure, guys.
Where
Yes,
am I
yeah,
going to
got
watch this at?
My Pet Monster there. You can actually watch it on YouTube. You
Perfect.
can watch it on YouTube. So I do have the VHS. I actually got really lucky and found the VHS for $10. And that seems like an average price for a VHS. that VHS can sell like upwards, depending on the condition, like close to $100.
So if you've rented it and you have it still, don't worry
Yeah.
about those late fees.
Don't worry
No,
about it. Just keep it.
Keep it. It's paid for
Got
itself.
$100 right there.
There you go. But yeah, that should be it. Should be an adventure.
All right, we'll see how it goes.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay, so with that, we are doing a sound check. Hit it, Russ.
Check. 1, 2.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm gonna give you guys a theme tonight. Because it is Friday the 13th, we are going with horror games
Okay.
or levels. So they could either be from a horror game or just a horror level that is in another game. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to do 3 sounds, basically sound effects from games.
Yep.
And then we will do 3 audio
Music tracks.
from retro games. So you guys ready for number 1?
Let's lay it on us.
All right. You guys should get this no problem.
Back to the Future 2 and 3.
It does have the same publisher.
Ooh, interesting. It's almost like we just talked about this. Russ, go ahead.
Friday the 13th, baby.
Of course.
That's in the opening. You see the knife go into the mask.
Right. So I had to start it off super easy for you guys. So we will just dive into number 2 here. Hit it.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is a fun one. Keith, do you have any guesses?
No.
I am curious if the sound changes between games.
Okay, well, when you tell me what it is, I will tell you where I got it from.
Okay.
What are you thinking it is?
Keith doesn't know. I'll just guess.
I feel like I should know, but I don't know. Guess.
That's when you throw the holy water in Castlevania. I don't know if it's the same in Castlevania 2 or which one you got, or Castlevania 3.
So this sound I got from Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest.
Nice.
So,
The best one.
The
better one.
I would agree with you with there. I would agree with that. All right, this third one is a little bit tougher. Remember, it's a horror game or horror level. It actually goes on longer. I just happened to cut it there.
What, does it just loop that? I imagine it's like a 4-second loop.
It basically loops it, yeah.
I mean, I want to say Ghosts and Goblins on this one. I feel like it has that vibe. Like, towards the end of the first level, you got some of the ghost guys coming out, but...
What do you think, Keith?
I want to say Monster Party.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it could be.
Sure.
You want to play one more time?
I got some vibes for Monster Party in that too, now that I'm thinking. That's a good one.
Okay. Final answer?
We'll both go Monster Party.
That is Monster Party.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Ooh.
It's a toughie because it's not, Monster Party's not like on the top of everybody's mind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I select some of these games, I kind of like try to balance. Like, I don't want to make it impossible for you guys, but I don't want to make it easy. And I thought this was maybe a good balance of the two. So
yeah,
guys, 3 for 3 on the
sound effects. Perfect.
I had Monster Party as a kid, so that one.
Oh, really?
That some of the way it sounded was familiar to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people have Monster Party growing up. All right. So now we're going to jump into the 3 music tracks. Again, retro horror games or levels from games. So hit the first track. This will be number 4 for you, Russ. a banger.
We got pretty good. So I use this a bunch in videos
Oh, you do?
during Halloween.
Okay.
It's gonna give me nightmares.
Boom, boom. All right.
Good track.
Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
and NES.
Okay. It is Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you know when the track is from?
Gosh.
The
Or
daytime.
have an idea of where that music plays? I'm not
That
deducting
might be
points, but I'm
that
just
might be
curious to
in the
know.
nightmare.
I think it's in one of the houses, like when you go in the house. I think it's a regular time, not nightmare time.
That is correct. That is house number 3.
Okay.
Good job, guys. You guys are good. All right. I think you will get one of the next 2.
Okay.
That's my guess. Let's hit the next track. This game had no business having music like that.
Do you know it, Russ?
I don't know. It sounds great.
I believe it is the haunted mansion in Walt Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh. Okay. It's a good deep cut.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good.
Out of that
I'm
one.
impressed. That impresses me.
I rented the heck out of
Wow.
that one.
That is wow. And it was such a cool level too. Like you threw the candles.
Right?
At
There
the
was
goat?
some like great levels in a game that, like you said, shouldn't have had great music or great levels like that, right?
That was by far the best level of that entire game.
Right.
Nice.
Even the Pirates of the
The
Caribbean.
mine
level's
cart
pretty
was good. What's that?
The Pirates of the Caribbean level's pretty good too.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
you guys if maybe we have to play that for one of the rentals because
Yes,
That'd be good. Yeah.
it might be a hidden gem.
it is. It's a gooder.
Excuse me. All right.
Last one.
Last one, hit it. So good. This one is so good.
It's a good bop right there.
Russ,
That is Transylvania in DuckTales.
That is correct. Where's your? There you go. There you go. I was waiting for
wait.
it. Interestingly enough, there is another Transylvania track.
When you go back.
No, that was like it must have been like a pre-production track
Okay.
because that's the one that popped up first when I was searching for it, and I downloaded it and I listened to it, and I was like, this doesn't sound right. So much that I literally had it uploaded to you. And then I went back and researched it. I was like, no, I knew it wasn't right. And then I had to go back. I went on YouTube just to like confirm. And sure enough, yeah, there is another track out there for Transylvania that I guess maybe didn't make it into the game. Interesting. The more you know. Russ, between all of those like tips that you gave us about Friday the 13th, I feel like and then like with this, I think we need like a more transition.
Oh, that comes out. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From like
Like
G.I.
a
Joe.
still, or you want me to make it as like a?
Oh, I think we should
like
just
a
take
thing.
the actual. I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
should rip it off.
Want me to download it now? Get it ready for the end of the episode.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys. I think this is
It's a clean sweep.
I think this is a first in Warp Pipe podcast history. Not only 3 for 3, 6 for 6.
6.
Hall
I'm
of
glad
Fame.
Russ knew most of them, and I could just pull it out of my butt with those.
I
two
wouldn't
that I
have
got.
known. Yeah, the other one. Yeah, so we did it together.
Team effort. Congratulations.
Let's go. All right, guys, we are getting back into box art battle where we take a look at two different box arts and discuss which one is the better one. I didn't do a horror theme on this one, but it's going to be a tough one to choose which one is the winner. So let's get into box art battle.
Round one, fight!
All right, guys, here we are. We got Zelda II, The Adventure of Link versus The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. I didn't want to just always do NES versus NES, so I was like, let's cross-platform some. So maybe in future episodes we could do, NES versus Sega, or I don't know, something else. But
This one's a toughie. I mean, obviously game-wise, but we're not doing game battle.
I will say they kind of kept a consistency where, you remember the first Zelda was all gold and very minimal. So they kept that with 2. It's a little bit like the first one, but also moving on to Super Nintendo, they still have the gold there, but we're kind of forced with that template with the Super Nintendo that has that like border that's on every game. And me and Tom talked about that on our episode on my channel, where sometimes, when you're designing stuff, there's like a template that has to go with it, and the way things land, it kind of either makes or breaks it. But
it also breaks the plane because the sword goes.
the sword,
over
yeah,
flat.
they've done that a few times with they did it on Super Metroid a lot more, where Samus is stepping over the bounds there. But at least here, I say both have swords on it, so it's similar.
Right. They do a nice job. Russ, are we able to zoom in on the Link to the Past?
Okay.
If we zoom into the Z with the shield, they do a nice job with like the shading and kind of gives that like 3D depth.
Right in the background
really
over
like
here,
that,
yeah.
And then that like just Zelda kind of pops off of the gold.
And this is where they kind of like, you see this font return in later games. This is where they polished it out and we're like, all right, we like this typography, and we're going to use it for future games.
Yeah. But although, here's a thing that the Super Nintendo copy does not do. They don't have that gold window for the cartridge.
Right. Yeah. They didn't have a gold cartridge, so no reason to add the window. So 1 and 2 Zelda had the cutouts where you can peek in and like, what is that little treasure inside?
Which I don't think any other game did, right?
It's interesting that no one, was like, hey, we should try that too. Like, or something, or a play on that, like Monster in My Pocket, and maybe they have something creeping in there or whatever. You could see, part of the art would have been cool.
This is a toughie. This is a very, very difficult decision. Man,
Which sword do you guys like better? Looking at it,
I feel like
can we zoom into the Link to the Past one?
like the Adventure of Link sword looks like a dagger to me.
Yes,
The
agreed.
size of the hilt,
Okay.
the size of the blade feels like a dagger.
Sure.
The Link to the Past.
Well,
sword
you know what
feels-
though? In a Link to sorry, Adventures of Link, he does kind of just jab at people.
It is a little short sword, right?
Yeah. So maybe that's a thing.
Yeah.
you do get the little Triforce logo
Yeah.
on A Link to the Past. No Triforce yet. There wasn't established to have it on the sword.
Yeah. I mean, man, I don't know.
I feel like I'm pulled towards the Super Nintendo art. And when I start to really look at it, I'm not a fan of the green Zelda 2
Okay.
bit they have on there. That takes away a little bit for me. And
Right, it feels
for
like
some-
the name of the... Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, for some reason, I like the template. I like what they did. How you guys are talking about this, how the sword is over the template.
Right.
What were you
Yeah,
thinking, David?
it creates more depth for sure. I feel like they almost weren't going to call it Zelda 2
And just threw it in, just so
and then
people would
threw it
know.
in so people knew what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Like they were just going to call it Adventures of Link, and then they were like, "No, how is anyone going to decipher whether or not?" And maybe they already had the box art done, and then they were like, "Well, we got to get Zelda 2 on there somehow."
Yeah. So they just like laid that green on there, right?
It's an interesting color scheme too, with that Link's in blue. You got the Zelda with the green. I think with the original, it was just more simplistic and had less going on, so it worked a little bit better to its favor. Where almost, as you look at the Super Nintendo, you just have red font with black and that gold. Very simple. I think having the blue with the Link and the green, maybe it's throwing off that simplicity a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing that I want to ask you guys about. Let's say you have the Link to the Past box art, but you didn't have the black border with Super
Around it.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
and you just had the gold that filled the whole thing. Which one would you like better? Does the black border actually help emphasize
Yes.
the graphic, or
I feel
would
like it does. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So do you think that as a standalone, it would be better than Adventures
I
of
feel
Link?
I feel like they would have added something if it was just the gold. I feel like they would have added something, and it would have ended up being like another journey of ultimate challenge in the fantasy world of Hyrule, and it would have been that on there or something, and
Oh, so they would have
maybe
a
even
little description of the
taken
game.
away from it a little bit more too, right? Like I don't that
What I'll
font on the
say,
Super Nintendo side, that's fire right there.
I do prefer the gold on Adventures of Link, the background of Adventures of Link.
Yeah, I like that gold better than
Yeah.
it's the gradient gold on Zelda is too light for me.
I agree. So I wish that if you were to like take that background and put it on The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, I think it would be a no contest.
Yeah.
It is a toughie though, because I really love the window, because we have to take that into consideration of the emotion and the feel that you get from looking at it. You know, and I don't know, maybe nostalgia just hits so much that I want to lean towards that because of that window.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that
true.
window is the same shape as the logo from the first game.
That's right, of like the crest.
Yeah.
So that kind of it's a toughie, man. But like Keith said, it's a dagger.
Yeah,
Feels like it.
it feels
right?
like it. Yeah, I don't know how they would have got maybe a longer blade,
Yeah.
but then they would have to make the sword smaller to
Now,
get
Yeah,
that
there had to be
illusion.
the hilt different, right?
I'm gonna look up real quick just to remind
What?
myself. Okay. So here's another interesting factoid. So the Legend of Zelda game, the first Zelda game on NES, Zelda was written in red,
Yes, yep.
and then they switched it to blue for Link.
Yeah, so you would almost have each character has their own. Then the
Yeah.
next one would be Ganon. He's in another color, and then there's
Do you think
Tingle.
that if it was
Green.
red, it'd be a different story?
No, because then it would just be basic red font, right?
well. Then you get that Christmas vibe because then Zelda's in green, so you got red and green
Yeah.
are too close
Yeah.
to each other.
Oh, good point. Good point.
So
And
I
also
would
Link.
I would have had Zelda, well, like Zelda in red and Link in red to maybe just keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's no hierarchy there as far as design.
Yeah,
standpoint.
yeah.
What are you
I'm
thinking,
going the
Keith?
Super Nintendo version. I don't know. It's the black. It's the way the sword overhangs. Honestly, it's the art style of the sword and the shield, and that font for Zelda. just levels it up for me.
I think if we're talking about which is the better box art,
Yep.
then Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past wins. Although I am way more nostalgic for the box art
Yeah.
of Adventure
see
of
that.
Link.
Yeah. It's a close one. I do like that. Dave said, what if you took away the black border and then you compared apples to apples that way? I do feel like Adventures of Link would win in that aspect. I think having that border just gives it a little bit more somewhere for the eye to look in branding and everything. So I lean towards that as the better box art as well.
Yeah, but Adventures of Link is a great box art as a standalone. Like that could be a poster, man. Like that's a good the way it's laid out and the sword is slicing between the Link and the Zelda 2. Like
Yeah.
it kind of directs your eye towards both text. And then
It'd be a nice.
obviously-
I have the T-shirt with like Fester's Quest. I could throw that freaking box art right on a T-shirt, nice and big. Will look cool.
yeah, and then you just cut out the little crest there.
You know,
Where's that? Where's that gonna line up?
looking at let's say this game was on the NES black box template, right?
Okay.
Which one?
So Legend of Zelda or Adventure of Link, say we throw that onto the black box template, right?
Okay.
It would probably look pretty cool, right? Like even if we didn't change a lot, if you just had the sword how it is, maybe had Link overhanging on the black,
Right,
probably look pretty cool too, right?
It would
And
look cool,
look,
but it would defeat the purpose of all the gold.
Yeah, we can see him doing it again here, right, with the black box art. Where
I
they
think
got it
someone.
overhanging.
I think someone did. Did they do it? There was a black box. Yeah, that came out. I remember John Riggs had found this.
Oh yeah.
There's Zelda. If it came out on black box, where you see some of the.
It's a little busy.
It is a little busy.
And why isn't he green?
Yes.
I don't know, but someone remade it and did that. Lost box art discovered. I'm not sure why he's not green, but
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna go with Super Nintendo, huh?
Super Nintendo I think
Super
takes the win
Nintendo.
on that one. Yeah,
Close one though. It's a good
Yeah, it is.
battle.
certainly close
Absolutely.
one for sure. Sweet. That'll wrap up box art battle. Can't wait for the next one. If you guys want to give us some suggestions of box art you want to see go head to head in the ring, then leave a comment and I'll add it to the queue and maybe we'll get to it. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break and then we're going to get into some Friday the 13th. We'll be right back.
Buy the Friday the 13th Ultimate Edition DVD collection from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. 8 films, 10 hours of killer extras, 5 discs. Buy it October 5th on DVD.
Manny's Arcade has what you need: retro game magazines, controllers and accessories, even VHS tapes of classic movies from the 80s and 90s. And of course, he has a wide selection of retro and modern video games. Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and more. Check out Manny's Arcade and use code TheWeeklyWarpipe to save 15% off your order today. All right, back in action.
Back
Right.
in scary action.
Scary action. I got a bunch of. I didn't get that DVD set, but I did order off of Amazon. They had this one here, the Friday 13th 8 movie collection. I think it was like $14 or something, and they're all just like a basic. I was watching these on YouTube. They have the Friday 13th on YouTube, obviously censored, right, and cut down. So I was like, you know what? Let me just order the DVD collection here. But I did have to order. There was a combo pack that I got that had Freddy versus Jason, which is not in here, and Jason X, which is also not in this collection to get all the movies. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll make my own. How they have like the case they all slide into. Like I'll make a little cabin and put the DVD collections in there.
Sleeve.
Yeah, a little sleeve. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nice. Well, we certainly got a lot of merchandise and movies out of this. I mean, I think I did the math, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movies.
Because they had the remake too that came out in 2015, I think.
Oh, I wasn't counting that.
So that's even another one. Yeah.
I was counting all the way up to February of 2009.
Oh, okay.
So, listen, I don't know if you guys realize this. Do you guys know when the first Friday the 13th movie was released? Just off the top of your head?
Like month-wise or year?
No, year. Just, do you have any guesses?
Was it? I gotta go 1985.
Okay. What about you, Keith?
82.
82. 1980.
Nice.
Just kicking off the 80s.
But now wait a minute. Let me tell you something. So I did a little calculation here. Listen to how hard they went on this series. There was a movie out in the following years: 1980, 1981, 1982, 1984, 1985, 1986, 1988, 1989. Then it went to 93. Then 2002, 2003, and 2009. So they put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies in the 80s.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
They only missed 1983, and that's it. Oh, 1987. That's all they missed. They went hard. Now,
I guess it was easy to film, right? Easy to knock out.
But I want to ask you another question, though. Now that you know this information, when was Nightmare on Elm Street released?
Let's see. So that came out in 80. So then I'll go 83 for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
82 again.
82 again. 1984. Now listen.
Four years late to the game.
4 years later, 1984, 1985, 1987, 88, 89, 91, 94, and then 2003, 2010. So my question to you guys, you see how just back to back to back to back both series was? Bro, do you think they just saw what was going on with Jason and they were just like, you know what? We need another slasher out there. And then they were like, let's go just as hard. Every single year, we're going to do another movie.
Right.
But I didn't realize that Jason was around more than 4 years before
Freddy. Yeah.
Freddy. Because they get compared so much. But when I saw the years and the amount of just back-to-back movies that came out.
He was laying the foundation.
It's crazy. And then we got in 2003. 2003 was the Freddy versus Jason movie.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. So, I think that, I don't know. Maybe that's why I never really connected with Friday the 13th as much as Nightmare on Elm Street, because I would have been 4 when Freddy came out, and I remember seeing Nightmare on Elm Street 5 in the theater, which would have been 1989. So I went and saw Nightmare on Elm Street 5 when I was 9 years old.
Perfect. Good age.
When my brother, right? My mom, I remember distinctly, she dropped me and my brother off at the movie theater, and we went to. And I know we're not talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, but she dropped us off at the theater. That must have been like a preview. I think it was definitely a preview night because I had won tickets off of our local radio station, and my brother swears that there's a scene in the movie that was cut out. So he thinks we were like a test viewership.
Oh, and so it was cut after
it
the
was
fact.
cut after we saw the preview.
Yeah.
It's a
Could be.
scene where I don't know. Do you guys remember that movie?
I mean, I've seen it, but
it's the movie with
No.
the scene. The scene is where he like shoves all the food down the girl's throat, and she
Okay.
gets like really big. Well, in the movie that we saw, he I guess goes into the stomach, gets the food, and then feeds it again. And I guess that's not in the movie.
oh.
So, but anyway, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm sorry, I'm not Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, we
Friday.
are, but we should be talking.
Yeah, let's talk about Friday the 13th. So anyway, Russ, do you prefer these movies as well?
Yeah, I and again, I don't think I've seen any of these in theater. It was all Dad renting them and watching them at his place. The only one I remember seeing in theaters was Freddy versus Jason. I remember going to see that one. And I think Jason X. I think I remember seeing that one in theaters. But I did end up going on a little trip. Let's see, when was this posted here? 11 years ago to Blairstown, New Jersey. This is the first Friday the 13th film. I'm showing footage of the opening scene right here where she's walking through, and that's my footage right there of the same corridor that she walked through. And there's actually a movie theater attached to that. There's my buddy John. I went with him to check this out, and they were showing the movie in that theater. So we got to watch Friday the 13th in the building that was in the movie, which was really cool. And I don't know if I show footage here or not. There's a little photo we took here. But we did go to the diner that was also in the movie. There's a little thing that shows there. Friday the 13th and some other movies they were playing. But there's Blairstown Diner, so that's also in the movie. So we ate there as well. So it was a cool little trip for any Jason fan. And I don't know if they still do it to this day or not, but it was fun to be a fan. I was like, look, I got some Camp Crystal Lake water because I just got a glass of water.
And 11 years ago, you're still wearing that Mario hat.
It might be the same one. I don't know where that shirt went though. Boo Bites.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I remember that. Yeah,
Classic
yeah.
shirt. But they do sometimes do like tours of the campsite as well, where you can do that, which I've never got to go on. And there was even some of it was filmed in Connecticut. I forget which Friday the 13th, but one of them was filmed here in Connecticut, which was pretty neat as well. But I don't know, just checking them out and seeing all those slasher movies. You're like in it for the like the kills and thrills. You're like, what are they gonna do with Jason? Like, what is he gonna do? And I just watching them. I don't know. I guess we were just built different in the '80s of watching, being 9 years old and watching people getting slashed up. And
You guys were built different. I was definitely not watching people getting slashed up. I was watching Inspector Gadget at home.
you're watching Parent Trap and
So instead of Freddy Krueger, he was watching Dr. Claw.
Exactly. Yeah,
Both
and
had
zany
knives as
scenes.
hands.
yeah.
So how about
I'm
the games
really-
too? There's a lot of games though.
Well, there is the 2017 game that came out. I'll pull up some gameplay footage of that. I didn't. It was on Kickstarter. I didn't get to back it on Kickstarter, but it got some really good traction. And it's a game where you could either play as Jason or as a camp counselor. So it's an online, when it came out, it was online. So you would sign up, pick all your people, and then it would randomize. and it would choose, who you're going to be. And so if you're Jason, you have to hunt down the other players and kill them. If you're a camp counselor, you have to try to escape. And there's different ways you can do that, or just survive the time on it. And people were going nuts over it. And it was going really good for quite some time. And they did have even, let's see, NES Jason. They ended up putting a skin where you can be NES Jason. He's purple in all his glory walking around.
Wow.
And I was like, that's the coolest thing. So I made sure to get that there. And there was a special other Jason called Savini Jason, whereas if you pre-ordered the game on Kickstarter, you exclusively got that Jason. And it's a nod to Tom Savini, who did the special effects on the movies. And it's a Jason that is all on fire, and he has like magma coming out of him, and in a like torn up mask. And I actually ended up doing a few custom figures because figures never came out for it. And that was another video that blew up on my channel. Let's see if I can look up some gameplay of Savini Jason here. Yeah, he looks really cool. He's got like glowing eyes, and like you could see like the magma coming out.
Yeah.
So you get kind of like a little overview. He's got a little like a pitchfork thing going on. Let's see.
What's the origin of that version of Jason? Was that part of any movie, or did he just kind of do that design on his own?
It must have been, something that he made himself, I guess. And since he was like the special effects person, that's why he was like, okay, like it's going to be, this is what it looks like. And maybe they never used it for any of the movies or anything. And so, I picked up one of the figures. NECA put out a bunch of these figures, which are great figures if you like Jason. And they come with, I chose this one, I think, because he came with a pitchfork. And I was like, I can use that for the weapon. So I was like, sculpting the weapon. I had used some clay there to do the spikes and everything, and then we'll just get the reveal at the end here. And he turned out pretty awesome. I ended up selling a few of these because people reached out to me and were like, "Oh, can you make one?" Because they never released a figure like that. And I had a good time making it, and I thought it came out pretty cool.
And how long ago was that?
This one I re-uploaded, so that says 3 years ago, but I think it was more like 7 years ago.
Wow.
So I was like, sweet, Savini Jason. But sadly, the 2017 game got canceled with the online server, so you can no longer play online anymore. You can just play solo, and they're just NPCs. Either the camp counselors and your Jason and what have you. Huge legal battle, unfortunately. Someone had worked on the first movie of Friday the 13th, and technically at the end of that movie, Jason comes up out of the water, right? He's a boy, and you don't get to see Jason, who we know, until, well, technically the third movie, because the second movie he has a bag over his head, the sack Jason. Right. But then they fight of who owns the rights to Jason, right? Because Jason was in the first movie, but not really. So it's been this legal battle going on for many years. That's why we haven't seen any new Jason movies or games or anything like that, because they had a bunch of stuff planned for that 2017 game, and unfortunately it got canned because of legal battles.
Wow, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now that's only online play though, right?
So I don't even know if you can purchase the game. If you could find a physical copy, you can get it that way. And then you'll still, I have it downloaded on my PS4 so I can play it that way, but it's offline. So you just, you're playing by yourself, fortunately, so it's not as fun, because when you were playing online, you can hear, when you got close to the camp counselors, you could then hear them in your headphones, like talking. And so you knew they were close. And then you go attack them. Cool. and it was really neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So and now other games have come out since then. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. There's a Killer Clowns game. There's Predator game. So I think those are the three that came out with the same format of like one person's the hunter and the others are the hunty style. But
now the Friday the 13th game, was that the original, like kind of the survival?
so I guess it wasn't. We were talking about this last night. I guess I think it's called Death by Daylight. I think was the first that did that.
Okay.
So they kind of borrowed from there.
Did they make an Evil Dead one too? I feel like or maybe it was just an Evil Dead game. I want to say they made some kind of Evil Dead.
Well, I think Ash was in Death by Deadlight or Dead by Daylight. Okay. I think you can unlock Ash in that.
Okay. And they did eventually release this game on Switch as well, didn't they?
Yeah, so you could get it, PS4, Switch, PS5 and all that. And there are some physical copies. It was originally, again, a Kickstarter game digitally and all that, and then came out physically, so you were able to pick that up. But
now I wonder, I wonder on Switch if you could actually play that with 2 players, because you could now share cartridges. Is there a 2-player option on that?
I don't think. I think it has to be, 5-player or 1 player.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But there is, like I said, big legal battle, unfortunately, so we haven't gotten anything as for movies. But if you're a Jason fan, maybe haven't seen this, check out Never Hike Alone. This is a fan film that came out in 2017. And since then, there's been 2 more. There's Never Hike Alone again. And then there's a prequel that they did as well, which, let's see, Never Hike in the Snow. Here it is down here, which is only a half hour long. And I backed them on Kickstarter, so I should be getting a DVD of it. Fantastic fan-made film. And this one's an hour long. You could just search it on YouTube, Never Hike Alone. The Ghost Cut is 2.5 hours. That has all 3 films together. And whoever they got to play Jason was fantastic. And definitely check that one out. And in more recent years, Friday the 13th, Angry Orchard. I don't know if you know, Angry Orchard is a beer company. I don't drink beer, but there's a short, which is, let's see, is this the trailer? Yeah. It's called Sweet Revenge. And they teamed up with Angry Orchard to kind of do this little project, which I think is the new, they're calling it the Jason verse. Again, legal battle, so they can't call it Friday the 13th universe. So it's the Jason verse. And what's also unique in the, if I could pull up the movie, I'll show you here. Again, with the legal battle, they have to kind of switch names for it.
So do they have? So they're able to use the Jason character, just not the Friday the 13th.
Right. Yeah, I can't find it quickly on that, but there's a scene where you know the is it on here? No, I'm gonna say the Camp Crystal Lake logo.
Yeah.
So it can't say that, but it can say they put like cabins at the lake or like cabins at Crystal Lake. Like they had to word it differently to get through legal aspects of it.
Do they still call him Jason Voorhees?
I think they just say Jason. Maybe they don't say Voorhees in the back. So there's probably loopholes and certain things where they're like, you can't do this. And he looks a little different. Some people are a little upset because he's a little bit smaller in stature, opposed to Kane Hodder, I believe was most people know that had played Jason and was he's pretty tall. So here's a little trailer of it, of Sweet Revenge. And I think they'll show Jason in there. Maybe I can get a still shot. You can kind of see him.
I wonder how that works with, we were talking to Tom Ryan last week about the parody laws.
Yeah.
I wonder like how much parody, they can actually use, like you said, they do some kind of like with the Camp Crystal Lake name and the name of the movie, and even saying Jason. So yeah, it's a fascinating law to start diving into and just seeing what, especially Bull Ayers. We talk about Bull Ayers, and Bull Ayers, you know, I mean, he does a lot of licensed stuff now, but now, again, he started out with the parodies. So like, I think those shoes right there, he doesn't have like full rights. I think they just file under parody.
On the parody, yeah, because these are NES themed Jason sneakers based on a like an Air Jordan, and he's got like, instead of the swoosh, it's a machete on there, and there's even where is it? I think it says, does it say Game Over? And I don't know if my camera even zoom in right there on the little tag, Game Over, right there. It's pretty sweet. And I got these little like bow biters, which is the mask on there. So I wear these now when I do my Jason cosplay.
I mean, they're sick. And I want to say the guy who molded those Jason masks,
Yeah.
that's the same guy that made my critters.
Oh, okay.
The My Pet Monster critter and
Same artist.
The Gizmo, yeah, Mike Skaggs.
I got two other items I'll show you guys real quick in my collection here, which I thought was great. Someone sent this out to me, and I thought it was just great. It's a 3D print here, and it's a Lego figure of NES Jason.
That's sick.
Nice.
And he's on a little stand here, and he articulates a little bit here. He's got his little machete, and I was like, that's so cool.
Now, who's this that made this?
I have his handle written down. I can't unfortunately place it.
And does he make these? Like, he makes different characters as Legos?
I don't know. I don't think. I think he was just knew I enjoyed Jason, was like, let me send this to Russ. But he did send me a bunch of 3D printed stuff, which was some My Pet Monster mashup ones as well, which I was like, oh, Dave would enjoy these.
Well, I would enjoy them quite. Yes.
It was like I think it was He-Man and My Pet Monster.
Oh, interesting.
Mashed up together.
Okay.
I got this T-shirt from my buddy Joe Murph, who did some of my tattoos on my arm. He did the NES Batman and my Mega Man. He didn't get to do the Jason. His boss Wes did the rest of my tattoo sleeve, but he does clothing and stuff, and he has this print here, and I thought this was great. It's a Shy Guy, like nice. NES Jason. So I had picked that shirt up from there.
I just ran into Joe, actually. I don't know when the last time you saw him, but I ran into him at the last Shop the Curiosity flea market. He was there hanging out, and he came up to me. We were talking for a little while. He's super excited about all the things that we're all doing with the podcast and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really good to reconnect with him. So hopefully he's listening and he'll hear. But yeah, Joe Murphy, and he has his own shop now, right?
Yeah, well, because I was getting tattoos from Burning Hearts when they were originally Waterbury, and then they switched locations, and Joe left and opened up his own shop, and it's like an hour and a half from me, so I fortunately couldn't make the trek there anymore. Right. But I think he's doing a lot like at the shop with like, other than tattoos, selling art and clothing and stuff, and then also I think like Magic the Gathering nights as well, and just making it a nice community thing.
Yeah.
We got.
I have a question for Keith.
Oh, real quick, Dave. The Wizard Gaming is the person that sent me the stuff there.
Very familiar.
I'll show you here.
I'm gonna write it down.
The Wizard Gaming, and here this was a channel member only video that I did an unboxing of. But just to show you the
we got an exclusive first look.
Here's the My Pet Monster mashup of He-Man.
So what is that? Is that a pin or?
It's just like a I think it's a keychain on that one. Maybe those might have been pins, but he had sent me like those, and then there was like some Mario stuff, and Blockbuster keychain. So he has, bunch of 3D printed stuff. So I assume maybe that's what he does. And I was like, oh, I was just listening to the Jason album.
Yeah.
So
Keith, I want to know. I have a question for Keith. What is it about like horror movies that you don't like? Is it just the gruesomeness of it, or like how do you feel about the characters? Like, do you know backstories and things like that for how the
Not a
characters
clue 'cause
are?
I don't watch them. So
No.
it's now I've been told I'm an empath, which means that when Jason is chopping someone up or drowning them in a toilet, like we just saw in that gameplay footage
in the
there,
video game, yeah.
in my head, I'm like, what would that feel like? And then I'm like, it gives me the
Oh,
heebie-jeebs,
okay.
right? And I'm like,
heebie-jeebs.
ooh, that's, or Freddy's doing something with claws, and I'm like, that
Right.
gives me that sound. I'm not scared. I've
No, but you get that
lost my head
feeling. Yeah.
yeah, and it's not like I'm not scared of it. Like the jump
Mm-hmm.
scares don't get me, nothing like that. It's just I don't watch them because I don't like that feeling. Like the Saw movies,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's too much for me because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, he just cut his finger off. Oh,
Right.
And you could
bad.
feel it. You know
And
what?
I
There's
can- yeah.
one thing from horror movies that always gets me, and I forget what movie it was from. And I'm
Okay.
sure it was in multiple movies, but the one thing that always got me was when and Keith, if you want to close your ears, you can do this. Like I don't want to, bust it, but like
Take out the headphones.
when they slice the back of the ankle,
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you can't run.
that's the one thing that gets me.
You're like, ooh, no escaping
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah, Keith, you're good now. Yeah, you're good. But that's the one thing that every time I was like, I could feel that one.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I watched Jason X because that's where he goes to space, right?
That's
Well,
right.
it's just-
Yeah.
It's just
That's
goofy.
the
Yeah.
only one I've ever seen. We watched
Yeah.
it in the theaters, and I think we laughed the whole way through because we were just thought it was silly. It was at that age. Same with Jeepers Creepers, the first Jeepers
Oh,
Creepers
yeah.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Horror
Yeah.
movie that I watched in theaters, and me and my buddy Kyle were sitting there. There was a whole group of us. We're watching it, and everyone's quiet. And I think he hits the bad guy with a car or something. He flies up in the air, and all these knives fall in the car, and we just busted a gut laughing. We thought it was so funny because we were just in that moment. But those are the only real horror movies other than
Yeah.
Founders Day that you guys maybe watch.
Oh yeah.
I've
Now what
ever
about
really watched.
Gremlins?
Never seen it.
Too spooky.
Keith, come on.
Just never. It was, that was not the direction I was watching movies in.
If
at
you
that
want to
time,
laugh,
so.
you could watch Gremlins 2.
It's one that I think I need to watch, but
Yeah.
I've just one I've never watched. So
Yeah, Gremlin. I mean, you've seen Ghostbusters.
yes, Ghostbusters is awesome.
Okay. I mean, it's technically not a horror movie, but
No,
it's ghosts,
Spooky.
and it's
Yeah.
more of a
It's
horror
still spooky,
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
But what else we got for Friday the 3rd? We got merchandise. We got lots of merchandise.
Quite a bit. Yeah. There's plenty of like t-shirts, masks. I have someone gave me, there was a mask that, again, Jason from the first movie, so that boy, he signed a mask and was in like some type of loot crate or something box, and so someone gifted it to me. So I have one of those kicking around somewhere as well.
Have you ever met Kane Hodder?
I haven't. No. I haven't gone to any like horror cons or whatnot because he does attend those.
Yeah.
I didn't dig out all my stuff, but I have NECA put out it's like a porcelain mask for the NES Jason, and it's almost like a baby blue, and it's very heavy. And that was the first time I had seen the NES Jason mask being sold as like merchandise before a bunch of people making your own. And this past year, Spirit Halloween, you could actually go and get the Jason mask, and they were selling a machete as well.
And they also had an NES version.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It was already blue
yeah.
for you.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So you're ready
Yeah.
to go.
I remember I was there, and I was like, anytime I see an NES Jason thing, I send to Russ, and he's like, text me back.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
saw that. Like, what do you want from me?
Right.
But we
But
got
there's-
little Mad Balls.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I do have that one here with the. I got this one that Bolaire's put out.
Yeah, I love that one. I still
And
got to
he
get
has-
one of those from
He's
him.
got the machete again that wraps around there.
That's cool.
That I think is one of the best ones. Those I do like.
I did a great promo for him because I dressed up as NES Freddy. And I had the Mad Ball, and I'm like, oh, look at this stupid ball. Like, just trying to be Freddy and, like, promote some stuff. So that was really fun. Yeah.
All right, so question for you, Russ. Growing up, I honestly never even watched a Friday the 13th movie until maybe I was even in my, like, 30s, to be honest with you, like, even late 30s. I was a Nightmare on Elm Street guy. I was always a Freddy Krueger guy. Were you always a Jason guy? Or
That was probably Jason and Freddy. Dad watched Hellraiser a little bit, and I couldn't get into that. Some of the, Chucky. You're like, I don't know what it was with Jason. Maybe like the atmosphere of like camp. I had always enjoyed camping and stuff. Summertime, right? You're off from school. So I was like, maybe I like that atmosphere better.
I feel like that first movie was more of like when I watched it the first time, it was more of like you can kind of compare it, in my opinion, to Jaws.
Yeah, where you don't see much of the killer on screen, right?
You don't see him, right?
Right.
At all. Because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, there's going to be a spoiler. Jason's not even the killer.
Is that it? Yeah.
He's not even the killer in the first movie. That's all. That's all I'll say if you haven't watched it. But just letting it out there. Like, so I don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't even watch this. I kind of lost interest in it immediately from the first movie, just because I don't know. I was like, I went into watching the movie with not knowing anything about the movies.
Yeah.
I never had any interest in getting to know the backstory of Jason. So I was actually very lucky to be able to dive into it with not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really a big fan of the first one.
It's tough if that's the one you see. Definitely the later ones. Again, you should just start with 3 because that's when he gets his iconic mask, and it's in 3D, so that's super fun. But there's some unique shots that they do for the 3D in that. But yeah, then from there on, you're like, you got Jason. And I did want to bring up Jason Takes Manhattan, which they're playing down the street at the Strand for Friday the 13th. So you can check that one out on the big screen again. It's a small movie theater. But Jason Takes Manhattan was supposed to have more scenes in Manhattan, right? It's pitched as Jason Takes Manhattan. But the budget was going to cost so much. They wanted a scene at Madison Square Garden. There's going to be a scene at the Statue of Liberty and over here. And I think total clock time that they're in Manhattan is, something like 10 minutes or very short. It takes place mostly on a boat that they're taking to get to Manhattan. And there's all those scenes had gotten cut. There's a scene with him going through Times Square, which is probably the most iconic one out there. And then a lot of the scenes were actually shot, I believe, in Canada.
Oh, interesting.
I think in Toronto, I want to say.
That
They
would
had to
make
pay
sense.
those
Yep.
import fees.
Right, had to pay the import fees.
Because it was just so much cheaper in Canadian dollars for American films.
It could have been. I don't know. I would imagine because of the permits to film in New York City, I'm sure were astronomical because it's New York City. They're like, if we go to Toronto, we're like, all right, it's half the cost.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got similar streets, I'm sure, that you could
Right. And
use
if
the
you
two with.
mash it together with actual shots, maybe they got guerrilla style, so they didn't have to pay fees.
We got stuff like that happens here, like the new not the last Ghostbuster movie, the Ghostbuster movie before that, when they brought Ghostbusters back. There's stuff filmed here, and it's all set down there, but there's literally they filmed at my cousin's garage.
Wow.
Literally, like in a neighboring town. So they do that kind of stuff all the time because it's way cheaper for them to film here than it is to film down there for some stuff, right? So
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, like I said, we'll see what happens with the future of it. I think there's supposed to be a TV series within that Jason verse, and then maybe something else coming out with the other person who has licensing rights to games and this and that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Friday the 13th for sure. Scary. Sweet. All right, we'll wrap this puppy up and we'll get on to the next one. All right, we'll check in with Rob the robot and see if we have any voicemails this week.
Oh, it looks like we have a voicemail. Let's see who called into the show this week.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
What's up, my weekly Warp Pipers? It's your buddy NES Addict here. Calling just after midnight. And Russ is live streaming Donkey Kong 2 right now.
Oh,
Anyway,
nice. This was last
speak
week.
to you guys about giving phone calls to us because we like to hear from you. And I can't necessarily preach to you and not do it myself. So here's the question for you guys. What video game console do you feel like you missed out on the most when you were a kid? I'm going to have to say, for me, if I'm looking at it through my kid eyes back in the day, I really wish I would have had a Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Also thought it's about TurboGrafx 16 and also thought about Master System. But realistically, if you would have asked me back then, I wish I could have had a Genesis too, because that would have been so cool. I loved Sonic the Hedgehog, Green Hill Zone, Act 1 music, and that made me almost buy a Genesis, but I didn't buy it because I knew I wanted to play Mario World so bad, so I got the Super NES. Anyway, that's my question. Feel free to answer it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
That's a great question.
Thanks, Jay.
What do you think, Keith?
I want to say the Genesis, but we had a Genesis in the house. It was just my sister's, and I never played it.
Okay. Oh, then you still missed out on it.
I did. I'm just trying to think, at that age, what games I would have been wanting for it, and I don't. I had the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. I don't think there's a bunch of games that I would have.
I mean, you can even go later. You can even say GameCube. You can even
and that's what I'm wondering. It would probably be GameCube because I've played GameCube now, and I feel like I missed out on a bunch of stuff on the GameCube, not one I ever owned. So
sure,
probably GameCube. I would say for me. What about you guys?
Well, I'd never had a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis, so I would say, do I feel like I missed out on it? Not necessarily, because I played a little bit of it at friends' houses. If there was a system that I thought looked really cool, that maybe I would have liked to play more, that probably would have been a TurboGrafx.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like I didn't miss out on Super Nintendo because I had the Sega. I kind of compare Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. They had similar games, unless you get the first party ones with Legend of Zelda and all. But honestly, I played those games at friends' houses, so I don't feel like I missed out on it.
Yeah.
I just didn't own it. So maybe TurboGrafx if I missed out completely on a system, possibly.
Game Boy, Game Gear, handhelds.
I had Game Boy. My sister had a Game Gear. That is a good point, though. The handhelds. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really into the handhelds once like Game Boy Advance came out and all that stuff. But I did buy Becky one year for Christmas. It was a Game Boy Advance. So I played that. So I really don't feel like I missed out on that.
Yeah.
And I did have a GameCube. So I did get to go back to that. So yeah, I'd say if it was one system that like I definitely didn't have, and I even played a little bit of Master System, like at a cousin's house.
Yeah.
So if there was one system that I just never got to play ever, it's probably TurboGrafx. What about you, Russ?
TurboGrafx, yeah. I've only played it once growing up at my friend's house, and then that was it. It was like one day, and I was like, "Oh, Bonks was pretty cool." Like, okay, and then never went back. I'd say that or Sega Saturn. I never played Sega. I went to a friend's house. They were playing like Daytona USA or something, and it was supposed to be like perfect arcade ports to it, and I was just like, I never played it since then. So definitely those, or like you said, even Sega Master System. None of my friends had that, so but I don't feel like I go back to a lot of the games. I think the box art doesn't sell it for me too.
I mean, the Ghostbusters game one is really good because it's like those little chibi guys.
Right, but they have that game on NES that came out in Europe, which is the same thing.
Yeah, we didn't get it here.
Didn't do me any good here though.
No. All right, let's jump over to Jay once again to see what song we're going to be listening to.
What's up, Weekly Warp Pipers? It's your buddy NES Addict Jay here with another Do Yourself a Favor, and today we're going to talk about The Used. So do yourself a favor and listen to the song Blue and Yellow. I'm going to read you some lyrics. And it's all in how you mix the two, and it starts just where the light exists. It's a feeling that you cannot miss, and it burns a hole through everyone that feels it. Talking about love, baby. Even though it's winter, we can still talk about love. Yeah, anyway, I love The Used. Burt McCracken was awesome. I saw them with Boxcar Racer in like November of 2002 or something when they were in Atlanta at the Tabernacle. I don't know. It was a great show. Friggin' Boxcar Racer's only tour ever. Anyway, do yourself a favor and listen to Blue and Yellow. Also, do yourself a favor and follow me on TikTok or right here on YouTube. I'm starting to put out shorts pretty much daily. And yeah, as always, give us a call, guys. We want to hear from you. Tell us how beautiful our faces are or how hideous they are. I don't know. Whatever you want to tell us. Tell us anything. Anyway, love you guys. Peace out.
All right, we're gonna do pop quiz hot shot. We're gonna put these two up against each other and see who can get the most answers and have all the bragging rights for the next couple of weeks until we do this again. Go ahead, Russ.
Pop quiz hot shot.
You win.
All right, guys. Oh, there we go. Test those buzzers out. Let me get my pad of paper here so we can get some points listed here as we go.
What was the last one we did? Can you remind us?
Goonies.
Goonies. It was Goonies.
Yep. And this one isn't horror related because I would not know the answers.
It's very true.
So we're going with one that this is going to be some quick answers for you guys, I think.
Oh, okay.
Game Boy.
Oh.
The Game Boy quiz.
I'm not confident.
Oh. All right. There's some pretty easy ones here. Question 1. In what year was the original Game Boy released?
89?
89 is correct. 1990 in some regions, but the majority of them 89. All right. What pack-in game famously held sales of the Game Boy worldwide? Pack-in game.
Tetris.
Tetris is right. Yep.
Come on, Russ. You know these.
I mean, I could have answered as soon as you said pack. But I'm like, we'll let him
I
finish.
could have too. I was waiting. Yeah, I was waiting.
How many AA batteries are in the original Game Boy?
I think Russ hit that.
I had
I heard that.
Yeah.
4.
4 is correct. Question 4.
Nice.
What cable accessory allowed 2 Game Boys to connect to multiplayer?
Groovy.
The link cable.
The link cable is correct.
I was thinking the link cable, but I thought there was like another word in that.
Question 5. What was the name of the smaller, lighter, redesigned release in 1996?
The Game Boy Pocket?
Yes, that is correct.
I was debating between, yeah.
I almost thought he was going to go Japanese Game Boy Light.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Question 6. What special cartridge accessory let players take and print photos?
Groovy.
The Game Boy printer.
Yeah. Game Boy camera, Game Boy printer. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Question 7. This is going to get quick fingers here.
Okay.
What Game Boy model introduced a color screen?
Game Boy Color?
Yep. That was basically giving you the answer. All right. This is a little tougher. What was the final officially licensed Nintendo game release?
Oh, I don't even
for
know.
The original Game Boy.
Original Game Boy. Jeez.
What was the final officially licensed Nintendo game release for the original Game Boy?
Wario Woods.
Nope. Nintendo NES. Yes.
I understand.
Right. I know NES.
I was taking a shot in the dark for that one.
I'll putt near you, and I'll go with Wario Land 3. Super Mario Land 3, Wario something, right?
Shantae.
It was a Shantae? Wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then that's an expensive game.
It is, because, yeah.
Limited Run did a release, re-release of it.
Released in 2002, very late
Russ,
in the system's life.
This would be a perfect opportunity to put The More You Know.
More you know.
It's coming next episode.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. What was the nickname commonly given to the original Game Boy by fans due to its size?
Groovy.
The Brick.
The Brick is correct. You guys, you're all tied up.
Good
Rolling
job.
in to question 10. Fast fingers. What handheld competitor for the Sega directly rivaled the Game Boy?
Groovy.
Game Gear.
The Game Gear is correct. Russ
Dang
wins
it.
this one.
Dang it.
Well done,
By the
Russ.
teeth of
Well
my
done.
skin. Let's go.
All right. The tiebreaker, if you're playing along in the comments and you've looked these up as you're going, the tiebreaker, if you've answered as many as Russ has, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correctly. What was the official model number for the original Game Boy?
Can I answer this, or can Russ answer this?
Russ gets first shot.
Groovy.
What was the official model number for the original Game Boy?
DMG 100?
No.
Is
no,
it zero?
no.
They might reverse the number. I know it's DMG.
David, what do you think
001?
it is?
Can I give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Shot.
Is it DMG-01?
It sure is.
There we go. We were close on that one.
Nice. Well,
Wow,
that-
I have a bunch of useless knowledge in that brain.
right? Who would have thunk it?
Like,
That
who
was
thinks
Game
that?
Boy
Like-
quiz.
And then the things that I can't remember 5 minutes later that my wife tells me.
Yeah. Yeah, like what we're having for supper, and I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah, what time I'm supposed
Oh,
to
I
be
got to do the
somewhere.
cat
No
box
clue.
tonight. Yeah, I got to clean out the cat box. Yeah, no idea. Trash goes
remember
out on
that.
Wednesday. Is that what it was?
So that was Pop Quiz Hot Shot for this week. Russ, you have bragging rights, even though David did clench the tiebreaker.
There we go. And it's good handheld. I'll be playing my new Game Boy game that me and Keith got.
Exactly.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Boom. Pop it in the Game Boy.
Right?
Sweet. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's episode and are celebrating Friday the 13th for the weekend. Extend it to the weekend. Maybe pop in that NES game or watch one of the movies. I forget when the next Friday the 13th is, but it's a little bit later in the year. So you can prepare and get ready to celebrate then as well. It's going to be a good time for sure. Again, quick shout out to show sponsor. We got Manny's Arcade. If you use the code The Weekly Warp Pipe, you could save 15% off at checkout. He's got retro games, VHS tapes, magazines, toys, accessories, and more. And what do we got? I'm shooting it over to Dave. What we're doing next week?
Yeah. So just to let you know, Russ, the next Friday the 13th will be in November.
Wow, quite some time to go.
Because I think this was our second Friday the 13th.
It is. Yep.
Yeah. So next week we have a very exciting topic that I'm very excited about. It is toy lines that should have gotten a video game.
Okay.
So there's quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to making my list and going through that list with you guys. And Keith, can you remind us what is that rental for next week?
We should just, Russ, quickly flip back over to David while I tell us here, and we can look in the background as we are going to be renting My Pet Monster, the movie. And David has all of his My Pet Monster stuff in the back.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, Tom
as well.
Watch My Pet Monster, the movie on YouTube like I'm going to do.
There we go. I got some stickers.
The holographics. My geriatric. I didn't tell you the guys' story. I'll tell you guys another time.
Be sure to call into the show, guys. 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. Quick shout out to our channel members, Retroholic16, Bryce, JW, Austin Mills, Fox Driven Retro, and the Wizard J. Appreciate you guys supporting the podcast like that. If you want to support what we do individually, Keith, where can we find you?
Retro Cart Collector on YouTube, Retro Cart Collector on Instagram. Promise, there's going to be a new video. I'm working on one right now as we speak. So
nice.
Check it out sooner than later. David, where do they find you?
You can find me on YouTube as well. It is Dave, It's Me, and I have weekly videos out every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, just 1 hour after the podcast goes live. So after you listen to this, go watch the new video. Got those Ohio videos coming out now, and then Chicago's on the way in a couple months. So, Russ,
rocking and rolling. Should be a new video up on my Russ Lyman channel, NES theme related, doing that custom NES Advantage to the Friday 13th theme. So check that out and then get your retro gaming goodness over at the Russly channel. I usually do a couple videos a week and a couple live streams. And if you guys do want to follow me, I do have the TikTok. I started live streaming on TikTok as well. So it's just under Russ Lyman. If you do that, playing video games on there as well. I might read some Nintendo Powers or retro magazines. So keep an eye out for that. And that wraps up everything here on the Weekly Warp Pipe. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, jumping in the Warp Pipe with us, and we'll see you on the next level.